This is Tyrone here, your host of the Tyrone, your host of Knowledge Live. Check out this podcast. Check out this podcast. KUAW.org. Go to KUAW.org, your mobile device. And also go to KUAW device. You can also go to KUAW Facebook. You can see us live. Facebook. Or you go to KUAW live. YouTube. Or you go to Periscope or Twitter. Periscope, or get there too. You can call it 816-599-313 or email us at Today is part two of my broadcast. My broadcast from the vantage point of view of vantage mother black male. Exactly. And it was a phenomenal show. Myself and Kevin Manning, who actually produced the show. He actually came with the idea, and he and I getting black mothers. And also the young lady that helped inspire the thought of actually doing the broadcast. Doing the broadcast. Yes. So this is one.
My name is I am the proud mother of a beautiful 14-year-old. I am the proud mother of a beautiful black boy.
And it's time to start changing the narrative, so I'm glad that there was no major incidents during the celebration of us winning the Super Bowl. Continue to hope we keep that same energy tomorrow going into the parade. For all those that are going out to the parade tomorrow, make sure y'all bundled up and stay safe and get down there early. And I say y'all because I ain't going. I mean, I love the Chiefs and everything like that, but it's going to be snowing. It's going to be cold. I'm excited. It's just really a real good time. It's just real good energy for the city. I'm really not agreeing with everyone with the Kansas City versus KC Mo versus KCK. I mean, you got to really know the history of Kansas City. Yes, Kansas City, Missouri was first. We do know that. We are the bigger of the Kansas City cities. And it's just, but see, here's the thing. We can all celebrate together, and everybody say, and I'm not going to get into the whole debate of what everybody, saying or anything like that, but that's just, we need to kill that and just stick to the positivity, the positive energy surrounding this, and not try to bring in the negative of, this our team, not y'all. Hey, it's all of our team. We need all y'all energy. We loved all y'all energy all season. If you was rocking with us all season, shoot, if you a bandwagon fan, welcome to the party. You know what I'm saying? We welcome them all, okay? I ain't got no problem with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we know that that's what people do and everything like that. But this shout out to the Chiefs, man. They had us biting our nails the whole game to about the last 10 minutes of the game, and it was just a good game. The Simpsons was wrong. Finally, you know what I'm saying? Finally, the Simpsons was wrong. And then I seen somebody say, well, it was a red team that won. First of all, if either one of the teams would have won, they would have been red. They both red. Because when I was looking at the crowd of the Super Bowl and everything, I was like, dang, it's a lot of red out there. And then my sister's like, well, they both red teams. I'm like, oh, okay. But I heard that Star Spangled Banner, then that home of the Chiefs. I said, oh, we in there. The kingdom is in there. You feel me? The kingdom was in there. The Chiefs probably felt like they was at home for real, and it's just a lot of energy. Everyone that got a chance to go down to Miami, good stuff, like it's just a great thing to be able to commemorate in a lifetime, to have memories of and everything like that. So I just make sure, you guys make sure you keep all your propaganda and everything like that was from this time. Like I said, we probably got some more to come, but for now we can bask in this 2020 victory. And it was so great that it happened on 02/02/2020, and a lot of people don't understand that that was kind of like a date, where the date is the same front and back, frontward, no matter which way you read it, so frontwards and backwards. I said, dang, I wish I would known I needed a husband. I could have got married on that day. It wouldn't have been no wedding that day. We was in the Super Bowl. The wedding would have been at 8:00 in the morning. No, I'm just kidding around and everything with it, but just really excited. I'm excited for just the upcoming generations. It's like, cause we've been in real Chiefs fans. We've been in a stump for so long. It's like we get so close, and we have such good teams and everything like that throughout the years. It's like we never. It seemed like we were always missing one aspect of the game. It's like we either had a good offense and a sucky defense, or a good defense and a sucky offense, or you know what I'm saying, wrong coaches, not good coaches, or anything like that. No defensive coordinator, like anything like that, and everything aligned perfectly this year. So we really grateful for that. Just like I said, shout out to the team, shout out to Andy, shout out to the defensive coordinator, because he done rocked and turned the whole defensive defense program around, you know what I'm saying? Because, baby. But anyway, yeah, so just shout out to the Chiefs. I just, had to get that out the way, make sure we get them their props and, and everything like that, because that was it was fun. It was fun to watch. It was a fun experience. I don't really remember much of the night after the win, but, I remember the win. So that was good. So, yeah, shout out to that. I want to talk about, because I mentioned The Simpsons being wrong, and that's kind of piggybacking off of last week, kind of where we were talking about how these conspiracy theorists, people and everyone that subscribes to these conspiracy theories, they make a conspiracy theory out of everything. And so, they was really saying that, we was going to lose and everything just because of the Simpson episode of the 49ers winning in Miami and everything like that. But I also want to say that with this being Black History Month, happy Black History Month for those who, it is what it is. Even though you really shouldn't subscribe to the notation or description of Black. However, we have to take pride in what it is that we do got, and just being acknowledged for all the great things that have been accomplished by our people in this in the United States of America over time. So definitely want to just acknowledge that it is Black History Month, and hey, happy Black History Month for those that take pride in that and celebrate that, everything like that. As well as with so what I was saying about that is that we have to understand, when we come into, they talk about signs and symbols a lot, and especially when it comes to the Illuminati, it's a certain sign, which is a pyramid, that people feel is directly connected with the Illuminati. And so we have to really these hand signs or symbols are really what we call mantras. And if you're not familiar with what that is, you could just look it up. But it's just certain hand movements. I know a lot of people that watch anime. I just got aware of this because I'm not one of those people. I don't watch anime or anything like that. But they were saying how this particular anime uses a lot of these signs all the time, and it's Japanese, or I think it's based in Japan, so Japanese anime or whatever, which makes a lot of sense because they are very familiar with using mantras to represent certain things, and this is actually creation. That they say Illuminati, but it's really creation, and if you were into meditation and things like that, these are where these mantras come into play a lot, for a lot of people that are very familiar with meditating and just connecting your energy of your physical with your spiritual realm, and using these hand signals as a way to connect the two realms together, especially when you're trying to create something or manifest something, whatever it is that you're meditating over. Then those are a lot of times when those symbols are used. We have to understand, because I don't want to get too off track of what I'm saying about how we look at these things and automatically think the worst, because we also got to understand we look at voodoo, and witchcraft and things like that, and they'll tell you that these things are evil. Like for as long as I can remember, when you think about like black cat, you know, they related to bad luck. Voodoo is evilness, demonic, satanic, like all these type of things that they've instilled in us that are evil. And so we have to start researching and unwrapping these things, because I always say that if the European tells you something, you should check it twice. Okay, like you should check it twice, maybe thrice, okay, maybe 3 times, you know what I'm saying, just to back it up, because a lot of our history they have took and turned it around and presented it back to us as evilness, so that we don't get into the things that we are directly connected to. And when I say that, and when I talk about that, I'm talking about, like, you know, what they consider witchcraft and spells and everything like that. And that's a lot of things that I say on here a lot, is that I want us to understand about the words and terminology that we use, because all the words that you speak into the universe is a spell. You know what I'm saying? You might not be reading it from a book. Hey, cousin, you might not be reading it from a book and, like, you know, trying to turn somebody into a frog, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that, like all the made up things that they would have you about witchcraft and things like that, like movies and TVs and shows that they done made when you talk about witchcraft and everything like that. But if you're in tune with your spirituality and you focus on manifestation, that is a spell. You use words and thoughts, and when your thoughts consist of words, you know, to speak these things into the universe. Even in a lot of religions, they tell you to speak it into existence. They tell you to, you know what I'm saying, watch what you say, watch your words and things like that. And these things don't only work sometimes. This is a universal law. That's all the time. You know, law of attraction is real. Law of attraction, Islam, my more sister, I praise to Allah, Islam, Brother Johnson Bay. So, but these things are real. You know what I'm saying? Our thoughts, words, and things control our reality. That's why we have to be very careful and guarded on the things that we think and on the things that we speak, you know, and we can't be looking at it like it's only working sometimes, or, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't work like that. The universe doesn't say, oh, they're serious this time, but they're not serious now. I'm like, no, we do know the intent. God knows the intent of our heart, and in the words and things that we speak, and the intent behind the things that we do. Law of attraction is so real. Watch your mouth. It's definitely real, and it ain't even it's not even just your mouth, because it's not even just what you speak. It's your thoughts as well. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts could transmute into the universe. You don't even have to speak your thoughts, but your thoughts transmute into the universe. Help her see future post by They, you know what I'm saying? Your thoughts transmit into the universe as well. So it's not even, you know, we do hear speaking into existence and things like that, but you can think it into existence, you know? And I say that just because you really have to think about some things before you even speak it. Well, you should think before you speak. So most of the time when people say something, or, you know what I'm saying, they thought about that before it actually came out of their mouth, you know? So we got to understand that it works that way as well, because, you know, a lot of people think things and they're like, oh, well, I didn't say it. Well, God, the higher power, whatever name you might subscribe to that energy as, I say Allah, and I'm trying not to get caught up in that, because I know a lot of people, if you're not in a certain mind state, you know, a lot of people don't understand how we have different names for the same energy, if that makes sense. That, you know, I hope that came across correct, because we, you know, like a lot of people, just depending on who you are and what you believe, you know, a lot of people they use different names. You know what I'm saying? They use different names for the same creative energy when we talk about the higher power. So I definitely want to make sure that we stay very conscious of the things that we say and what we speak in, and the things that we think. And that has to, and we, again, with it being Black History Month, I encourage all of us to definitely look into the history of our people, look into the history of not only what you were told or not only what you were taught, because we cannot just depend on the things that we were taught in school to be the all. And nowadays we can't even depend on the things that we're taught in school to be correct. You know, everything has an agenda behind it. You know, like at this point, it's schools in Texas that are teaching, there's schools in Texas that are teaching that slavery were workers coming over here looking for work. Free labor or laborers coming over here looking for work. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're rewriting history. And so, and we allow them to do that. We allow them to do that because we allow our children, we allow that to be the only thing that our children know, or we allow that to be the basis of what it is that we build our understandings off of as adults. You know, what we learned in school. You know, we allow those type of things to be our foundation, when really those are the things that we have to investigate and do more research on, because like I said, a lot of it has been twisted and not for our benefit. You know what I'm saying? It's been misconstrued to benefit our oppressor, you know, to keep us in a certain mindset. Because if I can teach you that your power, your God-given power that's inside of you, and that's the ability to create your own reality, is evil, you're going to turn against it. You have people that have dreams that have been spoken to spirits and everything like that, and they can get up in there and tell somebody about it, and then next thing you know, oh, that's evil, oh, that's demonic, or that's satanic, you know what I'm saying? And then we suppress those type of things. And so then you go to then you have future generations that don't even have these abilities or the knowledge of intuition, the knowledge of the soul plane, the knowledge of how to connect with spirits that are physically not here. You know what I'm saying? And I say physically not here because spirit is our soul is energy. You know, the essence of man, the essence of who we are is energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It has always been here, as it will always be. So we have to understand that and we have the ability to connect with those spirits. We have that ability if we tap into it. But it's hard to tap into something when you've been taught your whole life that it was evil, you know. And so we have to definitely understand and definitely be able to research and teach our children and future generations of what it is that we actually know, and not let someone else what's the word I'm trying to use, suppress your God-given power. See, a lot of people nowadays, you know, a lot of people are becoming what they call conscious, you know. And when I think of the word conscious, to be conscious just means to be aware, you know, and aware of certain knowledge, aware of certain power and everything like that. And so you got a lot of people that, you know, are claiming to be conscious and everything, but so they're like, I'm a god. You know, that's a lot of people's favorite line right now. You know, I see it all the time on, you know, the internet and everything like that. I don't go to church. I'm a god. I ain't praying to no God outside of me. I am God. This and that. And it sound good. It sound good, but my thing of it is what is it about? What makes you a god? That's the question that people cannot answer. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you can't, what makes you a god? What gives you that power? What gives you that title? Because God is just a title. So what gives you that title to be able to say, I'm a god? If you are not here, see, we got to understand, what is God? You know what I'm saying? What is your ideal of what God is? God is the creator of all things. He, you know, in a lot of most people's mind, you know, I can't speak for all, but in most people's mind, he is the creator of all things. And the power within us, that creative power that lies within us to create our own realities in this realm of physical man, and this realm of manifestation, and to be able to create those things. And that's our God-given power. So if you're not aware of that God-given power, if you're not aware of how to use that God-given power, if you're not aware, to me, you're not really conscious. You just sound good. It's like a wave, you know? And it's like when you down, it's certain things when when you're conscious and aware of your actual ability and your connection with your fellow man on earth, there's a lot of things that we would not do. It's a lot of things that conscious people, so-called conscious people, do and say, and I'll be like, they can't be conscious, because if you were, you wouldn't even speak those type of things. You wouldn't down talk women. You wouldn't downplay children. You wouldn't steal from your fellow brother. You wouldn't rob your fellow brother. You wouldn't be out here raping. You wouldn't be out here killing. You wouldn't be out here doing any of those things, because you are aware of the connection that you hold with other individuals on this plane of manifest. You know what I'm saying? And so and that's what I look at when I look at someone being conscious and everything like that. It's like they really give people a bad rep because of what it is. Like, you're claiming it, you're saying it, but you're not living it. And that's what happens. That's even what happens with a lot of Moors nowadays, with a lot of things that's on the internet. A lot of people read about Moors on the internet, you know, and that's another thing I want to kind of get into, but they read about Moors and things on the internet, and then they see with now it's like a lot of people then found the nationality part of it, and they can connect themselves with the nationality part of it. And I'm not downplaying it at all, because I'd rather you call yourself a Moor than to call yourself the N-word, to call yourself black, to call yourself colored, any of those things, you know. I definitely rather for you to have that knowledge of, at least you know that you're not these things, so you know that you're something else, and or that you know that it's something bigger. You're a part of a bigger collective of really great people. You know what I'm saying? And so I definitely understand that, but it's like, it's a lot more into it as well. When you think about, like I said, I've had this conversation several times, but we have to think about the character and the morals and the way that you carry yourself. Like I said, there's certain things that you would not do. I would never expect to get on the internet and to see a so-called Moor, someone that carries an ill or bay on their name, down talking women. You know, like, well, how could you do that when, you know what I'm saying, like, or down talking their fellow brother man, or, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, another man. Like, we're all connected, and we're all connected in this world, and especially in this realm of manifestation. So you definitely have to be careful when you're claiming things, or when you're reading a lot of these things, and definitely double check your sources. Don't just go off of the first source that you see, not even the second source that you see. See, I'm the type of person, for me to actually say, to be able to, in my heart, like, oh, this is true, I got to be able to verify it by at least 3 different sources. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you know. And I'm talking about 3 different sources, not collective sources, not sources that have anything to do with tying to each other. That's my whole thing with the Bible. The only way to back up the Bible is with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I know there should be other ways to verify these events if they actually happen. It should be other ways to verify these people if this actually took place. So that's all I'm saying, is make sure that you double and triple check the things that you are claiming to be connected to, the things that you are kind of claiming to spread as truth, because everyone is watching everyone. We live in a time of social media. We live in a time of social media. We live in a time of the internet. Everyone is constantly watching everything that people do and say that we put out there, because I mean, you put it out there. So if you put it out there, you know, there's a lot of people watching or listening to it, or maybe reading it and thinking and looking at it as truth and everything like that. So that's just like a lot of people share these articles on Facebook and stuff, and the article was written in 2002. We in 2020. This don't have nothing to do with what's going on today. You know what I'm saying? News articles and things like that. Like, we don't even double check. We're not source checking the things that we are taking into our mind as knowledge. And you have to source check everything. You have to source check a lot of different things. And we've seen that in the cases of, like, when people pass and things like that. You know, if it's reported too soon, wrong details come out and everything like that, because it wasn't enough time for it to all come together as one to present correct information. So then you got people retracting facts and things like that. So we just have to, and then when it comes to our own knowledge of who we are, we definitely should fact check it. We definitely should triple check it against, hold it against many different sources, just to make sure that we have the correct information, to make sure that we are teaching and passing down the correct information, and also just living in truth. You know, like I talk about Confucius all the time. I mean, I say this quote of Confucius all the time, and it says the beginning of wisdom is to call things by their proper name. We have to be able to live in the truth that it is that we know, and I've been like that. You know, I've been like that since I was a little kid or a child, because when it comes to lying, you know, like telling a lie and everything. And I tell people all the time that I don't lie. But you got people that sit up here and they have those quotes, oh, everybody lies. White lie ain't gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? We got these cliche statements that's been programmed into us. No one's perfect. You know, things like that or whatever. And my daddy told me, I would never forget, I was 16 years old because I had told a lie about where I was going or something like that. And the universe, you know, the universe works in mysterious ways, because I got a flat tire. And when I got that flat tire, the first person I thought to call was my daddy. Well, when I called him and I told him where I was at, he like, okay. He hung up. He called me back within 30 seconds. Hold on, did you lie to me? That ain't where you supposed to be. How you get over there? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm caught up because I'm in distress, but I didn't told a lie. And he's like, oh, you need to figure it out on your own, and you better be home in an hour. Well, what about this tire? Click. He didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And so when I had got home, I did make it home within that hour. Shout out to my best friend brother. But when I had got home, you know, he sat down and had a conversation with me, and you know, and I really think it come from a Scarface movie, honestly. But it's if you lie, you only lie when you're afraid, and it's either you're afraid of the consequences. You're afraid of who it is that you're talking to, or how they're going to feel, or it's some type of fear linked into it. And again, as a child, I've always been taught, you know, I don't fear anything. You know what I'm saying? Fear is one of our worst enemies. Like, our own worst enemy is our own fear and the things that we do. It's the thing that fear holds us back the most from being who it is who we are and expressing our true selves, because of fear. And so I've always stood on the fact that if I do something, I'm consciously doing it. So that means I'm prepared for whatever consequence that may occur. I'm prepared for what it is that I'm doing, it can make someone feel, anything like that. Like, I'm prepared for that, because I'm not going to lie to you. You know, like I said, I don't fear you, so I'm not going to lie to you. I might lie to the police. That might be the only people that I ever lie to. You feel me? And that's just because you got to keep yourself out of certain situations and things like that. So I definitely, we definitely have to be very aware of, you know, just the things that we do and the things that we say, and just consciously aware and be able to stand on the things that we know. And so to live in truth is to know truth. If you don't know truth, you can't live in truth. That's why a lot of people live in lies, because the lie is their truth. If I'm not going to say if that makes sense, but you know what I'm saying? The lie is the only truth that they know. And we have to get out of that, because we live in a world, in a time, in an age of information. We live in an age of technology. Like, any information that we know is at our fingertips. You can get it as long as you do the right research. Our people have a problem with reading. You know, it's like we don't read anymore. You know, it's like we stick our children in front of TVs and tablets and everything like that. But how many times do you stick your child in front of a book, you know, and tell them to read this, or just go sit in the corner, read something like this? You know what I'm saying? We don't read anymore. Our children don't read anymore, because as adults, we don't read. As adults, we are examples for our children. So they're going to do what we do. If we're not reading, then they're not going to be reading. If they're not reading, then they don't know how to research research the things that they're getting told or taught or things like that, because they don't know where to look in a book. They depended on Google for everything, Wikipedia and everything. No, pick up a book. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the information anything that we want to know is at our fingertips. We have to be able to use this information. Our people used to get lynched, killed for reading. Now they won't pick up a book if it killed them. So I'm not again, young lady, because they don't hear you. Oh yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you know, like I said, they used to get killed for reading, and now it's like we wouldn't read a book if it was to save our lives. You know what I'm saying? Because reading would save our lives. If you just pick up a book, you would know who you are. If you just pick up a book, even if you just if you read the things, like when we like I said, we in Black History Month. This is a perfect example. We in Black History Month. Okay. Everybody went crazy when old girl, dang, what was her name? She got arrested, and everybody seen her mugshot, and she was listed as white. You know what I'm saying? And she's an Asiatic woman, and she was listed as white. And everybody went in an uproar. Oh, she don't want to be black. She want to be white, da-da-da. But see, that's where reading comes into play. Because if you knew how to read on what it meant to be black, I promise you would not claim to be black. You wouldn't even subscribe to that, because if you knew where being black made you stand in law, made you stand in people, like, you're literally tied to nothingness. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the Constitution, that's where reading comes into play. Even in the Constitution, you know, we know that it says a black man is 3/5 of a person. Like, you're not even a whole person, the things that we're still claiming to be on. Read on where they meant to be black. You are promised you would not claim to be black. You wouldn't even. And that's what I'm saying. If we read these, and here's the thing. The information is not hidden. Like, it's not hidden from us anymore. It might have been hidden from us at one point in time, but we're not at that. We're in a new era time now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not hidden from us. It's hidden from us, but because it's hidden in a book, and our people won't pick up a book to read anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they life depended on it, it's like you rather sit up here on YouTube, you rather sit up here on games, you rather sit up here on game systems and everything like that. You throw your children in front of the TV and let the TV programs teach your children. You let the schoolhouse teach your children. You ain't even reading the homework that they teaching your child in the school. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know what it is that they teaching your child in the school until you know, you might come a glance of it or something like that. We're not even having these type of conversations. I remember I used to come home and my mom was like, "How was school today? What did you learn today? What happened today?" Just a conversation. Our people in this day and age, this generation of parents, they don't even take the time to have those type of conversations with their child, to find out what happened at school today, to find out what they was learning at school today, to find out what it is that you were taught as, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. We let them teach our children all these things about slavery, like they started slavery, and a lot of us don't know our history beyond or prior to slavery, because we ain't picked up a book and tried to read it. Y'all know we didn't just come out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are aware now, are conscious that we are original man. So therefore, we were here before the European. So therefore, we had to be here prior to slavery. What was those people like? What was they learning? What was their religion? What was their traditions? What were they customs? You know what I'm saying? Before someone came over here and told us who we were. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to read about these things and look into these things and investigate these things. And I'm laboring on this topic. I'm laboring on this topic because it is Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people take a lot of pride in February. Oh, it's a leap year too, so we got an extra day. But because it's 29 days in February this year. So, you know, shout out to all the leap years, baby. They get a birthday this year. They probably like, I know my generation leap year like 5 or 6 or something like that. But anyway, I'm laboring on that topic just to stress the importance, because there is a lot of things. When we talk about Black History Month, look at where it starts. You know what I'm saying? Look at the history that's taught during Black History Month. Ain't none of it prior to slavery. It's all after slavery. It's all Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, George Washington Carver, you know what I'm saying? The guy that invented the potato chips, and we invented everything. You're gonna learn about the invention of the stoplights and a wrench and a washing machines and the heat unit that's warming up your house right now. Like all those type of things were invented by our people. You know what I'm saying? But it's like just the history goes. I want to stress the importance that the history goes back prior to slavery, and it's on us that we dig into that, because ain't nobody gonna teach it to you unless you join the More Science Temple of America. Unless you really are in buff, there is a lot of different organizations nowadays that teach who you were prior to slavery. But it's like I said, it's not hidden. Just pick up a book. It's written in a lot of, I talk about the play by William Shakespeare. I need to take a break. The play by William Shakespeare, Othello, and things like that, and how it's written in a lot of what am I trying to say? A lot of theatrical events like plays like Othello and things like that. And we also have to get outside of American writers. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very big on looking at what the British were saying. What was the French people saying? What were the Italians saying about what was going on in America at this time or prior to that time, anything like that? Because those are the people who were they're speaking truth. They didn't have an agenda of trying to reprogram our minds to believe that we were nothing. Because now we all black and proud. How you proud of being nothing? I'm going to leave y'all on that thought because I got to take a break. But bear with me, and I'll be back in 90 seconds.
Hey everybody, this is Scatter. You might remember me from way back in the Zodiac days. Be sure and check us out. We're going to be here every day from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's old school with Scatter. Scatter's back. Check me out on the internet, KUAW.org. For all you Paseo Central Manulite people, want you to remember that in the 60s and the 70s, we had some good music. If you want to hear some of the Temptations, some of Smokey Robinson, some of the Tim Free, things that you don't get every day, DJ Scatter remembers he's going to have it for you.
Bank of Blue Valley is a proud sponsor of KUAW Radio. At Bank of Blue Valley, we believe that an understanding of financial values sets individuals up for a strong future. Whether you want to talk about checking and savings accounts, review lending alternatives, or discuss starting your own business, we have the right people to listen and advise. Visit us at bankbv.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to 98.5. This is KUAW, Kansas City, Missouri. Glad you're listening. Keep tuning to the new voice in Kansas City.
Hi, my name is Felania Johnson, and I'm a freshman at Purcell Academy of Fine and Performing Arts.
My name is Mayan Charity, and I'm a 7th grader at Lincoln College Preparatory.
STEM is a program about science, technology, engineering, and math. More girls our age should get more involved in the program because there's a shortage of black girls in STEM.
African American women make up just 2% of engineers. Roughly 1/3 of students of color express an interest in STEM. Most black women think that STEM is too challenging. We are sisters in STEM, and we are encouraging young black teens to join STEM.
If you're interested in more information, please contact Ina Montgomery at 816-866-6340.
Tycon Company, LLC, specializes in a wide range of construction services, which includes the removal and replacement of concrete curbs, sidewalk, driveway, and paving. They pride themselves in the quality of their service, but more importantly, with the quickness in which they provide those services. Their primary goal and objective is to achieve 100% customer satisfaction, and they won't settle for anything less. Their crews travel within a 100-mile radius of the Kansas City, Missouri metropolitan area, which includes cities on both sides of the Kansas and Missouri state line. Tycon Company, LLC, 44th.
Okay, and I'm back. I appreciate you guys for bearing with me and letting us pay some bills, get our sponsorships and everything out the way. Again, if you have an event or a business that you would like advertised here on KUAW,